Diamonds, they're fascinating, coveted, and revered, but how are they formed?
That's the question. Their journey from an age-old piece of carbon found deep in the earth to a piece of stunning jewelry might not be what you'd expect.
Hi everyone, I'm Olga Villaverde.
And I'm Beth Troutman.
Welcome to this very special edition of the Balancing Act. Special because we're talking about diamonds, and special because I have a precious gem back in the studio. Welcome back. How long has it been?
It's been almost 8 years. It's wonderful to be back.
Feels like yesterday.
I know, it really does. Today, be the change, the positive global impact of diamonds.
From the benefits of ethically mined diamonds to those directly impacted by the industry.
We're talking to the experts both in the studio and on the ground in Botswana, Africa, home to the Lucara mine known as Karowe, which means precious stone.
And one company is hoping to create change and make a difference with every multifaceted diamond it unearths.
And it all starts right now. Diamonds truly are one of Mother Earth's simplest yet most complex forms of natural beauty, comprised of just one element, carbon. Diamonds are considered to be the hardest substance on Earth and derive their name from the Greek word adamas, which means unconquerable. Natural diamonds formed over billions of years ago, in some cases over more than 3 billion years. And joining us to educate us on all things diamond are representatives from Lucara Diamond Corp, William Lamb and Eira Thomas. Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
This is such a fascinating and such a fun topic. I mean, let's face it, we're talking about diamonds. This is spectacular. Let's first talk about just the basics, how diamonds are formed. Some folks at home might not know how this actually happens.
Sure. Well, first off, diamonds are incredibly rare. They are the purest form of transparent carbon, and they form under tremendous pressure and depth, typically about 150 kilometers below the Earth's surface. They are then transported to the surface of the Earth in volcanoes, and they're very special volcanoes that we refer to as kimberlites. And those are the deposits then that we search for, and it can typically take up to 10 years of searching before you find a kimberlite deposit, and thereafter it can be another 10 years before you actually determine whether or not it contains enough diamonds to be economic.
It's crazy to think about all that goes into forming a diamond. And I would imagine if you're mining these gems, these stones, when you find one, it must feel incredible. Talk to me about that.
Well, Beth, can you imagine what you feel if your phone rings at 2 o'clock in the morning?
Right, you're scared.
Exactly. Generally, it's bad. And when I was chatting to our CEO after we recovered the Lesedi, his words to me were, "Are you sitting down?" And of course, you then know that it's bad news. And what followed was, congratulations. We're the first company in more than 100 years to recover a diamond over 1,000 carats. And 1,000 carats is significant. And there's the sense of euphoria, but no real words to explain sort of how you actually feel. It is quite a momentous occasion in, I think, anybody who works in the diamond industry in their career.
I would imagine your heart just beats a little bit faster. We actually have that diamond. Olga's going to show us that in just a few minutes, which we're super excited about. But let's talk about the process. It's a journey, quite a journey, from finding the diamond, from mining it, to what we see when we think of diamonds in our jewelry stores.
Correct. Diamonds are incredibly rare, and they're very difficult to find. And it can take decades to actually make a discovery that will go on to become a commercially producing diamond mine. So the process is very involved. We as geologists spend a great deal of time identifying areas to go and explore. And then if we are lucky enough to make a discovery from drilling, it then is a whole second process where we actually then have to go on to understand the overall grade of these deposits in carats per ton. And then we have to understand the diamond value.
And one of the things that I find incredibly fascinating with Lucara, you're not just about the corporate bottom line when it comes to diamonds. There's so much more about ethically mining diamonds and then affecting the entire community as well.
Well, and that's a very good point, though. And our mine is in Botswana, and I think it's very important for everybody to understand that they are not our diamonds. Those are Botswana's diamonds. We're there just as a facilitator to extract the value, provide our experience to be able to add value back into the country. And if you look at Botswana, there's it's most probably the perfect model where mining has actually made an enormous difference to the overall economic situation within the country. But on a micro level, the impact that we have within the local communities in which we operate it's vitally important for us to make sure that there are sustainable skills left when we leave. And we have a grant program where we call it KEEF, the Karowe Emerging Entrepreneurs Fund, where we have grants which are being provided to sort of very business-orientated people. And it's through that process we can actually then encourage additional businesses outside of the mining, which will be there long after we're gone.
You both are just a wealth of knowledge. Thank you so much for joining us this morning. It has been an absolute pleasure chatting with you. Now, we actually have more on what William was just chatting about coming up in just a little bit after the break. But right now, Olga is over here with some of these spectacular gems.
Take a look at this, Beth. Wow. I mean, I really got the great segment of having these beautiful gems in front of me, right?
Right.
And I have two special guests who are going to talk more about diamonds and synthetic diamonds as well. I'm joined by Stephen Lincoln of the Lucara Diamond Corp and, of course, Karen Rentmeesters of the Antwerp World Diamond Centre. Good morning to both of you.
Good morning.
Stephen, let me start with you. You know, diamonds are truly multifaceted. I mean, what I heard over there, they're just amazing. When you're looking into diamonds and you're looking into evaluating one, there are 4 C's, right?
Yes.
Where you need to consider before
Absolutely.
you get one. What are they?
Yeah. So you've got the cut, you have the clarity, and you have the color, and you have the carat weight, of course. Yes.
Which is important as well.
Absolutely.
I know you brought some fabulous diamonds.
Yes,
that
unfortunately,
you have from
they're
the
not
mine.
real.
They're not real, but let's pretend they were. Tell me about this.
Absolutely. So we got 3 amazing recoveries we had at Lucara. The first one is, this is 342 carats. Was found in the rough in 2015.
Wow.
Wow. And this was sold for $20 million.
20 million.
Yeah. It actually was known as the Garden of the Kalahari, became the Queen of the Kalahari, and it was actually worn at the Oscars by Charlize Theron last year at the Oscars.
Okay, and here a little bigger now?
Well, this one is something else, $63.1 million.
How many carats?
813. It's too big for your finger.
Too big for my entire hand. And finally, which by the way, I do want to mention that it is my birthstone, so I'm going to look at this remarkable one now, which I will never be able to possess.
Yeah, the wonderful Lesedi Larona, which translates to our light. Found 1,109 carats. So in total, you're looking at $130 million. And did you know actually, out of this $130 million, we give back to Botswana 55% of that revenue.
Which is the
To the people of Botswana, 55%.
Which is such an important point to talk about, Karen, because you and I were talking about it a few minutes ago while they were discussing diamonds, and that's the fact that when you buy the real deal, you're giving back rather than maybe purchasing a synthetic one. Tell me the difference.
Well, the difference between synthetic diamonds and natural diamonds is, one, what we talked about. Every diamond is unique. A synthetic diamond is grown in a lab, so they just roll out the factory, and
they're all the same.
They're all the same. So if you want something truly unique, you have to go for a natural diamond. And the biggest important difference is the impact, like you said, that it has on a community. A country like Botswana was one of the poorest countries before diamond industry actually was started there, and now is one of the most thriving countries on the continent. Every child in Botswana until the age of 12 gets free education because of the diamond industry. People are employed because of the diamond industry. And I think that's something that, if you buy a diamond piece of jewelry, you have to know that you leave an impact. You make a difference in the lives of many people around the world.
And they're an impact on your life as well, because my grandmother gave me this one when she passed on, and she wore it with my grandfather for 60 years, and it's unique, and it was hers, and now it's mine, and I can pass that on.
Yes, because this was here long before you were born, and it can be there long after you're born, and maybe 5 or 10 generations from now, someone within your family receives that unique, one-of-a-kind diamond that has made an impact on so many people's lives and around the world. So that's a great thing.
And it makes a difference. Well, you two are staying here. All of our guests are actually staying with us throughout the morning. More to come on diamonds, so stay with us. Don't go away. Welcome back, everyone, to the special edition of the Balancing Act. We're taking a closer look at the global impact of diamonds.
That's true. William Lamb of the Lucara Diamond Corp and Karen Rentmeesters of the Antwerp World Diamond Centre. They both join us again. Thank you so much for staying with us. Let's first talk about the fact that Botswana in southern Africa is one of the leading producers of diamonds. Your mine is known as Karowe.
So we've been in production at Karowe since 2012, but we obviously started quite a bit before then. And just because you have a license to build a mine doesn't mean you can go in and start to dig a hole. And for us, the most important thing was actually engaging with the local communities very, very early on. And the way we've actually run it is very much of an inclusive process. It's making sure that they know everything that we're doing. And it's really our way of making sure that they actually understand what we're doing and how we can actually give back. in the long term.
And some of the stones recovered from Karowe are really impressive. In fact, Karen, you and I before the break, we were looking at the Lesedi Lerona, correct? William, there are many others, right?
Yeah, one thing that characterizes the Karowe mine is our ability to recover large type 2A stones. And we innovate the technology previously not used in the diamond industry, but that's actually led to the recovery of some very, very high value stones. And to date, we've recovered 148 stones, which we've sold for more than $1 million. But that's not the real truth. Those stones have actually sold for in excess of $500 million. Oh. So you can imagine 148 stones in two big hands, you could hold that value. But for us, it's more important to understand that between 55 and 65% of that number has actually gone back to the Botswana people in terms of royalties, taxes, employment, local sourcing, different small contracts which we use. And I think it's important for people to understand that that's what happens in most African countries. There is a significant portion of the value recovered, it is their diamonds after all, that goes back into the country.
That's fantastic.
And you know some specific statistics about the impact, right?
If you look at Botswana before the diamond industry, we had about 12 kilometers of paved road. Today, that's 7,000. If you look at the life expectancy rate at birth, before the diamond industry, that was 37 years old. That was the average life expectancy. Today, that's 66. So, I mean, if you look at that way, you see that the diamond industry actually has a very positive impact on the lives of the people who live in these countries, and not just Botswana, but a whole lot of other countries where the same principle applies. So it's making a big, big difference.
And we touched on it earlier. It's so important to Lucara, correct, to have that positive
Very
impact.
much so. And it's not just sort of what we give back in sort of taxes and royalties and sort of employment, but there's other little things that you can do. So coming back to the large stones, when we auctioned the Lesedi, we actually put up 3 smaller stones, about 5 carats in size, and we had a reserve price. And when they were actually sold in auction, the people that were there were very generous. Donations like that go to help, and it went to 3 different charities. One was obviously a wildlife trust, but more importantly, one was to grandmothers of AIDS orphans. And they are such dears, these old ladies who actually came together because of a common purpose. And then the third one, which I think is even better, is specific wheelchairs designed for the local terrain. So it's like a 4x4 wheelchair. And you get to see these people and the joy on their faces when they can actually have that mobility. And that's where we get a lot more sort of just that warm feeling.
And it's actually long term, because you change the lives of these people forever. I mean, they get jobs, they are trained even after the diamond industry is gone, which is going to happen. They will still have skills they can use, to have jobs and to have a meaningful life. There's a ton of things you can name as positive impact on the local communities.
And speaking of positive impact, we actually have a small clip that I'd like to share with our viewers. It's from your community liaison officer in Botswana. Her name is, and if I say this incorrectly, I'm sorry, Kali Makwetsi.
Perfect.
And it's her with the locals there. Let's take a look.
We are proud in Botswana to have a government whereby all the minerals from the country are there to develop the country. Botswana is being developed by the diamonds. We've got schools, we've got our kids are being educated through diamonds. We've got hospitals, and all the infrastructure that we can see in our country is because of the diamond industry. And we have seen the lives of Botswana being uplifted, and we have seen most of Botswana doing businesses. Right now, I work for a mine that I'm proud of because of local empowerment. All of the positions in the executive committee is held by Botswana, something that was very rare in the last 10 years.
My journey at Buteti has transformed me from a traditional CFO to a very dynamic one. I'm now responsible for finance and security being a very critical part of the diamond industry. This responsibility has given me the opportunity to be a key player in assisting in securing the nation's assets.
Mines should continue to operate because they help in the development of the village and personal growth of community members.
Part of that community building is the Female Empowerment Network.
As a woman, I believe that it's very important to support other women in business. I empower ladies. We go on workshops, we do a lot of activities.
I'm a woman who started a business in a male-dominated industry. This means nothing is impossible. If we all work together, there's nothing we can't do.
Social corporate responsibility helps the disadvantaged people. It also boosts the morale of their workers, understanding very well that their companies are not only for profit margins, they're there to uplift the people from poverty.
I mean, that's fantastic. You see it right there.
It's like Gandhi said. It's one of my favorite quotes. Be the change that you want to see in the world.
Exactly.
Just a quick thing about Carly. She, a few years ago, won the President's Award. Just for the work that she'd actually done with sports. She actually played national team netball. And she's worked a lot with females or ladies in country, trying to empower them as well. And it's not just that we target a certain sector, we're trying to look at the broader scope of the entire population as what we can.
What great stuff.
Yes.
Thanks so much to her. God bless her, and just great information.
Yes, thank you. I said this earlier, just such a wealth of knowledge. It's so fabulous.
So much
sitting
I
with you.
didn't know, and we have so much still ahead, right?
That's right.
Stay with us. Welcome back to this special edition of the Balancing Act. We're taking a closer look at the global impact of diamonds. We're wrapping it all up with Eira Thomas and Karen Rentmeester to give some final thoughts about global responsibility and regulations. I've learned so much today, and I think this is a great way to close out the show. So let's talk about, the type of certification processes that go on in the diamond industry. Karen?
Well, the most important certification process is the Kimberley process.
What's that?
Well, the Kimberley process is actually a system in which governments of more than 80 countries where diamonds are either mined or manufactured or traded work together with NGOs and with the industry and have succeeded in eradicating conflict diamonds, bringing them down from an estimate of 15% to less than 1% today. So that's the most important achievement, I think, in the diamond industry. And it's been around for quite some time. It's been around since the turn of the century. And it's one of the biggest successes, I think, in the industry.
Eira?
And I think it's just a great testament to how the industry was able to band together to solve a problem. We're very aware that it's important for industry, the mining companies, the manufacturers, everyone that participates in the diamond value chain to be able to go out to our customers, our consumers, the NGOs, the communities in which we're working, and confirm that we're being responsible corporate citizens, that we are doing the right thing by the environment. We're very aware that we're giving back to the communities in which we live and operate.
And it's important to do that.
It's important to every consumer. And I got involved in the Kimberley process almost 20 years ago, and I can, feel very proud of the fact that as an industry we've been able to have this really positive effect and outcome on those concerns that were raised around the trade of conflict diamonds. And I think it's so important to remember that diamond mining as a business has had such a positive impact on so many countries and so many communities, and we really need to work hard to protect that reputation because we're very proud of what we do. And one thing with Lucara that we've done in the last while, we've recently acquired a company called Clara Diamond Solutions. And Clara is a digital platform that's going to transform how diamonds are actually sold. But one of the real benefits of Clara is that as part of the platform, we will be able to confirm diamond provenance basically from the mine right down to retail sale. And that kind of assurance, again, is something that our customers really take comfort from. So we're very pleased to be taking the Kimberley process kind of to the next level. We think blockchain will be a real enabler to be able to provide that kind of assurance that all of our stakeholders are looking for.
I want to thank you both so much, everyone that came today. I've learned so much. I know Beth did too. Just great information and just the impact of just doing the right thing and what a diamond can do for others around the world. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you very much.
Appreciate it. And of course, if you'd like more information on diamonds and Lucara, you can go to lucaradiamond.com. That's lucaradiamond.com. Thanks so much to all our guests for joining us today and helping us shine a light on one of Mother Nature's most fascinating creations, the diamond.
So cool. Now, for more information, all you have to do is check out our website, thebalancingact.com. We'll see you next time.
Wouldn't this look great right here? Look.
Right.
Oh, yours is bigger.
I ordered this one.
Fantastic.